me what you see when you look at me. Do you see another brother lost in these streets looking for his soul?
Trying to find my soul.
Or do you see another brother searching for lost souls in these streets? A street soldier.
Street soldier.
Here to help you get that chip off your shoulder, warm your colder days and sober your drunken ways, and find a way to help you get over these hurdles placed in our path. And this is not meant to amuse you. This is for all those who have questions but are afraid to ask.
I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. No. When times get hard, you lose your way. Open your mind and hear what I say.
This is a message for the hard and the soft. To those who tune in weekly and to those who keep an eye out for 8 p.m. on Sundays and turn their radios off. The truth hurts. The cloth has been pulled. We're walking around half dead. Use this show as your IV. Alive and Free is a new movement. We've achieved self-destruction. A street soldier promotes self-improvement.
Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah. Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. This is Lady Estelle and the Street Soldier Crew, and we are back for another Sunday evening with you. Your host this evening is delighted to see that we are still here. We are still alive and free. Who is your host? Dr. Joseph E. Marshall Jr.
Alive and free, alive and free. Yes, that are the words for now. Thanks everybody once again for tuning in to Alive and Free Street Soldiers Radio. One more show of good advice, good information, good example, good instruction, all to make it good in your neighborhood. Or, as we've been saying for years, playing a little music and saving a lot of lives. All right. Man, I don't know why I'm tired. Oh, I know. I had a long weekend. That's why I'm tired. I'm tired. I had a long. I was going Friday, Saturday. Okay, all right.
You do the Beta Breakers?
No. I ain't no runner. I'm not a runner. I'm barely a walker. So
Well, shout out to my friends Bernice and Chado, who did do the run and earned those pretty little medals. Congratulations. I am so proud of you because that Hayes Hill, not me.
Have you ever done it there?
I've done it, but not like a running kind of thing. It was more of a party kind of thing. But I will be running this weekend. I'm doing a 10K. So yeah, wish me luck, please.
10K.
10K. Yep, I think it's like 6 miles. I don't know. I just close my eyes and go. And then I start inviting everybody. I'm just like, do you want to go run? Are you into that? Let's do this.
I have those knees.
Yeah.
So now, have you trained for this, or you just gonna go out there?
I go to the gym, Dr. Marshall. I do my thing. This isn't my first rodeo, to be honest. So I know when my lungs start to burn, I could go ahead and walk. But really, what I love getting those medals. I love hanging them and showing them off. Yes. So. No, it's, you know what it is though? The run, you don't have to be a runner to do these runs.
Right.
They always talk about hitting your PR, and yeah. So what you really want to do is finish. And that's where that you just feel good and and sometimes they have food at the end and ice cream and it's fun.
Even if it's midnight and the race is over. As long as you get to the line. Not you. I'm saying,
they start at 8 a.m.
At least you finished, right?
Yeah. So congratulations to all the Beta Breaker runners.
Mike, you ever done that, Filmo?
No.
I
watched it.
Yeah, okay. Would you ever do
it? Yes.
Oh, okay.
I would do it.
All right.
I said I was going to do
it. Let me know. Don't wait too long.
True. No.
You got there earlier, huh?
I'm waiting on 10 years.
Nah, if I wait that long, I'm gonna be like you.
That's right.
Nah, I'm gonna walk.
You gonna walk?
Oh,
I wonder how long it takes. People be like 4 hours later.
That's what I'm
Pull it up to the
saying.
Ocean Beach.
That'd be pretty.
Oh,
That's they
man.
go to Ocean Beach, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, they go to Ocean Beach.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Soul, I don't see a soul. So that's it. That's it.
Okay.
NBA playoffs. I'm not gonna talk about NBA
Oh.
playoffs. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. Although I think we know there's 4 teams left.
OKC? You going to OKC?
OKC. Well, it's hard to go against OKC, but it's hard to go against Wemby, man. Wemby is like 25 feet tall.
Oh, you got your.
And then we got I think it's the Knicks are hottest. I don't know what. And it looks like that. Last I saw, Cleveland was beating the mess out of Detroit. So
Oh man.
yeah, James Harden finally has a chance.
About
Something.
time.
And Donovan Mitchell. All right, okay, all right. This is a little news right here.
Break it to the
Cleveland
news.
won, Doc.
Well, huh? Cleveland
I
won.
said Cleveland won. Yep.
Right. All right.
Before we get to the news, I just want to make sure that all of our listeners out there that know that you are listening to Street Soldiers Radio. But if you want, you can always take us on the go when you head on over to stayaliveandfree.org. We are all over all of the streaming platforms. So whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, and Pandora, all that fun stuff, you can listen to us. And right now, you can even watch us when you head on over to YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free.
Man, we're everywhere.
Are everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Yes, keep it real.
Let me holler. So, what's up? How you doing, man? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Got a little wind kicking up in the Bay Area today. It's a beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's windy. You didn't get out?
No, I'm going nowhere today.
Oh yeah.
It's Friday and Saturday, so until time to come to the studio. Yeah.
I had to take them old man walks. Them old man steps. Get them in the afternoon. So.
Oh man, well, I knew doing him. All right, little news. Jason Collins, the first openly gay NBA player, died of brain cancer at the age of 47.
Oh, sad story.
Yeah.
So young.
Yes, he was diagnosed he told the ESPN in November that he was diagnosed with stage 4, Lord, I don't know if I can say this, glib cancer. Okay, I'm just going to say it. That's a special name, but I'm not going to pronounce now. Which was one of the deadliest forms of brain cancer. He traveled to Singapore this past winter to receive experimental treatments, not yet authorized in the United States. Those treatments were effective enough for him to return home, attend NBA All-Star events, and a game at his alma mater, Stanford University. But the cancer recently returned. And he died peacefully, surrounded by his family. Jason Collins announced he was gay in a 2013 sports cover story, becoming the first publicly gay athlete to play in any of the main 4.
It was a big deal. It was if you remember.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he just said, "This is what I am." I mean, there have been others that played that just didn't say nothing or just but in all sports. But Jason Collins and of course our OG Doc, he remembers this. Jason and the brother Jaron Collins went to Stanford. Both of them played in the NBA.
Yeah.
The Collins twins, they were good college players, very good college players. So 47. That's and let me just mention another NBA player who went to
oh yeah, that's right.
Went to what's the school up north, Gonzaga, and played on the same team as Rudy Hachimura, actually. Brandon Clark played for years with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, that's
he
right.
just died at the age of 29.
Yeah. Oof.
29. So I'll be celebrating my birthday. So, I'm glad, 29. And they think it was a drug overdose. They're looking at it.
Yeah.
But condolences to both of them and their families. But,
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Thousands rally in Alabama for black voting rights. All right. Thousands of people from across the country descended on Montgomery, the capital of Alabama. On Saturday, they arrived by bus, by car, and by plane to gather for the All Roads Lead to the South rally following the Supreme Court of Louisiana's Supreme Court's decision, which essentially gutted the Voting Rights Act and severely limited protections. Let me say that, folks. Y'all been why they passed it in the first place? To protect against voting discrimination, organized by a coalition of local and national civic engagement groups. The rally took place outside the Alabama state capitol in the same plaza where the 1965 Selma to Montgomery voting rights marches happened. Free nonviolent demonstrations are enshrined there. All right. Anyway, you know, everybody, I hope everybody knows what's going on. But I am sure, and I know that Lady E agrees with me, that this is just the beginning of some serious.
This is a test run.
Serious. We ain't going out like that. That's what this is. This is serious. This is on. And it's going to happen pretty quickly because, you know, November's around the corner. And, you know, those of us who fought for it and those of us who came after him were the benefits of it. I'm like, no, we ain't having that. Where, you know, that stuff happened in Tennessee where they, you know, I think they jailed the demonstrators, the black demonstrators who were protesting about when the redistricting. I cannot talk right in Tennessee. So yeah, all right, okay. One more you got here. So, Rebel with a Cause spotlights the life of W.E.B. Du Bois.
Whoa, that's the name you don't hear on the station every day?
No, you don't. Born free in 1868 in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, W.E.B. Du Bois remains a towering figure in African American history, and now it's a 21st century reexamination in this movie, Rebel with a Cause. All right, narrated by the one and only Viola Davis.
Yes.
With dramatic readings of Du Bois's own words by Common, Courtney Vance, and Jeffrey Wright. And they got voices.
Yes, they do.
They got voices.
Yes.
You know, they sound like they talking. They know what they talking about. Even if they could be doing commercials and they sound like they're doing that. Director Rita Coburn's expansive documentary, also boasts commentary from scholars, historians, artists, and biographers. Okay, all right.
Author, historian, co-founder of the NAACP, activist W.E.B. Du Bois. Look him up, y'all.
He wrote The Souls of Black Folks, isn't that correct?
Yeah. Yes,
and it's funny.
Double consciousness.
Yeah. And what he said, I believe, is that the problem of the 20th century was the color line. Well, 100 years later, the problem of the 21st century is still the color line. So when y'all be talking about progress, okay, yeah. Okay. WEB would say it's still a problem. All right. You got anything else? You want to jump in? Got anything, Lady E? You got anything? So anything? We ready. All right, right on cue. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And by the way, a lot of times people call me, and we get a lot of requests.
Yeah.
Do this. Can you do a show on this? Can you do a show on this? And I tell everybody, I'm putting you on the list. Okay. Putting you on the list. We'll see how things, you know, shake down and hopefully be able to get to you. But I want to give a lot of credit to Ann because a lot of the shows the topics that we cover here are based on you bring to me. You know, it's Violence Prevention Month. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. You know, and we try to be timely with it. You know, we try to be timely with. When you sent me that list this week, May is a whole bunch of things.
Yeah,
so
Star Wars Day.
Long run.
There's AAPI. so month, so
And it's like we want to talk about and highlight everything.
Yeah,
That's the other part.
yeah.
Like we need maybe another Saturday or a Monday night or
yeah.
yeah. It's just, we really try to do our best, and I'm just really proud of Street Soldiers Radio. I think we have real conversations, and just really impressed with the callers who share as well. We saw it last week with Mother's Day.
Those names was great.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
We've
Yeah.
had some great shows. This one's going to be equally as good because we're going to be talking about mental health and the impetus. Ooh, finally use that word in the right way, Mr. Sell. I've been wanting to use that word for years.
I'm gonna write that one down.
And it, as I said, the context is wrong, right? But the impetus for this show is the gentleman sitting next to me who texted me earlier this week and said, like, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I'd like to come on and talk about can I say your battle?
Of course,
battle
yeah.
with mental health.
Yeah.
And so I definitely want to thank you for that. I've always said there's two topics we could do every week, only for a whole year. We could do mental health, and we could do violence, which is our staple, right? We could do that because it's and I'm gonna say your name, but I'm gonna introduce you formally. Gosh, for years, and Lady knows we never even heard the term mental health, right? It was how you doing, or but it's physical health, it's mental, it's physical health, it's spiritual health, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until I'm gonna say early mid first decade of this century that the young people started using the term mental health. Dr. Marshall, my mental health. What are you talking about? My mental health. And literally they brought it because I wasn't using it. I need a day off, or how you doing? But it has become I don't know. It's beyond important, and they pointed out to me how important it was. And so, and I will say this: I think with the young people, it can coincided with the increase in social media. They would link it to mental health with social media all the time. But then since then we've done some shows on mental health. In fact, and a year ago today, we did a show on Alzheimer's. Wow. And that was a great show. We've done two shows now on autism. And they've both been very well received. I mean, I get, both from the callers and people who are listening. And we have done shows on mental health before. Normally we've had a therapist in the studio. We don't have one tonight, but tonight we want to talk to a couple of folks who are dealing with it. We want to find out how they're dealing with it. And I love the way you titled the flyer, right? You are not alone. You are not alone. That was great. You were not alone. That was great. I think that was great. And that's one thing we get when we get callers is they appreciate us talking about things that are not normally talked about on a radio station like this. So let me introduce the brother to my left. Thank him so much for coming on to talk about his journey, Mr. He's a Mr. They call him Mr. Joshua Jacobo. Josh, thank you for coming, man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. First of all, let's tell people how long we know each other. We
4-ish years, 3.5.
When did we meet?
2020, probably early 2023.
Yeah. And it was because of the work that you do. Tell people what you do. yeah, go ahead.
So I do quite a few things, but my passion definitely is working with incarcerated people, both formerly, currently, and advocating too for those folks for better conditioning and better services. But anything community it has my heart. I always tell people whether I had all the money in the world or I had no money in the world, I'd be doing the same thing. I'm privileged to do it.
You love what you do.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes you special. You love what you do. And that's a big statement. If I wasn't getting paid for it, I'd do it anyway. That says a lot about the passion you have for the people, because it's all about the people.
For sure.
And I got to thank you. We do our violence prevention trainings, and Josh took one, and he went back and told everybody he worked with.
It was truly
Doug, you need to take the live and free training.
It truly was life changing.
Oh man, you brought people in there like crazy, man.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, people, and then he's the one that got me into Bruno.
That was a good pro. They still talk about that.
Do they really?
Absolutely.
Come on now.
I can't name names here, but I could definitely tell you when we get out.
I got like 6 visits, right? Maybe a couple hours a visit, and they're broken up, but they still remember some of the stuff.
For sure. What you got to remember too, and before the show, I was letting you know too. I mean, you have like such a long legacy. Like my brother and sister who are probably listening right now, listen to you years ago. My sister's 43. My brother is 38, probably 37, something around there. So you have quite a legacy. It's not just them; it's also their family. You guys have built something. I mean, around the world.
So important.
Absolutely.
Right? It's so important just having those.
I'm not going to turn it down. We're supposed to receive it. Right?
I noticed that you were finding it though. I saw it.
But those guys, man, that was great, man. We had some, I mean,
we did. With the environment we had to work with, it was definitely something special.
Yeah. It's so thank when you see him. Doc say, get out and stay alive and free.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But what did you want to talk about tonight with regard to mental health?
Yeah.
Specifically, you wanted to bring this to the airwaves. So go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I think, well, number one, just kind of introduce my, I guess, relationship to it. I have bipolar 2 disorder. I also have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as ADHD. So some days I say, I decide which one I get to pick for the day. But those battles, again, growing up in the Bay Area in San Francisco, as a Latino man, and really what mental health even means to us, right? Like the normalization of trauma that we have, and the stigma that we have to get help for these scars, I guess. Broad topic.
Beyond stigma, it just wasn't even talked about.
Yeah.
It just wasn't talked about. And I don't care if it's depression or what, bipolar or any other, mental health condition. It's just something that still to this day isn't talked about enough. And the whole stigma thing, does that kind of exist? And does it? I don't know.
Maybe it's a little less now with this generation coming up.
A little less, yeah.
Like we're at least having the conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's taken a while.
It helps when, and I'm gonna say this, celebrities. I remember Taraji was one of the first ones that talked about her battle with mental health. And it's almost like, look, and it can happen to anyone. You think there are some people we think,
for sure,
no, it can happen. It's happening to me, and then she went public with it. What was the great swimmer Michael Phelps?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think the most decorated Olympian of all. You're talking about it, and so it's become more common, I think, and I don't mean in a bad way, necessary to talk about it because it is, it's important. Just like physical health is important, mental health is.
See, that's that whole you're not alone. It's you got to be a little bit vulnerable, and then all of a sudden you learn and you realize you're not alone, and you can learn different ways to help yourself and help each other.
For sure.
I'm gonna read a little bit. Gotta go to Wikipedia or Harvard or Mayo Clinic to get the classic definition, right?
Sure.
Bipolar disorder, which used to be called manic depressive illness, right, is a condition characterized by wide mood swings from high to low. The expert view of bipolar disorder will continue to evolve, but is now commonly divided. I think bipolar 1, bipolar 2. based on the dividing line between mania and hypomania. All right, periods of high, and it talks about periods of higher irritable mood, are called manic episodes. Person becomes very active, uh, with sometimes painful and embarrassing consequences. Uh, a person in full manic state is full of energy and very irritable. All right, then it talks about the other, I guess it's the depressive stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It talks about both anyway. But I'm gonna let you. I'm just
No, yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
And you know what I didn't, I wanted to look up, but I couldn't since yours is about bipolar in particular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 4% of the population, they said. Is that the numbers that
Anyway,
I know
from
you've
two
done
to
some
two to
research?
four, I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
But a fun fact though, 30% of the prison population is bipolar, and it's
30% of the
assumed
prison
prison
population.
population, and it's assumed to be underdiagnosed as well.
Wow.
So it's quite severe consequences, or actually, if I can name a few other things too.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't, yeah.
Yeah, the World Health Organization labels it as the sixth leading cause for disability worldwide. I think we lose $202 billion a year in productivity from people who are bipolar. Just to put that in perspective, Morocco's GDP is like 195 billion. So, and we also life expectancy is anywhere, it ranges from 12 to 17 years less than the average population.
That I didn't know.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that wasn't even in here.
Yeah.
12 to 7
12 to 7
less.
12 to 17.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
It did say here that bipolar disorder can start at any age, but usually it's diagnosed in the teenage years or early 20s.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Is that the onset doesn't come until?
I will say it's also progressing disease. So as you get older, especially untreated, it gets worse. Which I could attest to.
Yeah. Well, let me just throw the number out: 877-955-1061. If you want to talk about, mental illness, give us a call. If you want to talk about, in particular, if you've had a struggle with mental illness, whether it be depression, you name it, right? Call us, and I know that I'm particularly interested in how you're doing with it, how you're coping with it. What have you found that works for you, right? So here's a place where you can tell your story, basically, and let other people know that, and especially if you got something that works. Especially if you got something that works. Well, go ahead, man. Jump into the Joshua Jacobo story.
Well, just again, too, just to put a example or two of what bipolar is, and again, even if it's like you said, just depression, whatever overwhelming feelings that you're dealing with, it doesn't have to be bipolar, and a lot of these same coping mechanisms deal with that as well.
We got one already. You got a call already. All right. Hi, you're on Street Soldiers. What's your name? Where you calling from? We're talking about mental health. What do you want to say? Go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm calling from Oakland. Thank you so much for talking about this. I help cult survivors reduce physical and emotional pain. A lot of the people I work with have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could share anything about what you found personally to be the most effective to help you live with this challenge.
Wow, now I'm gonna just say that we're not doctors. We're gonna people tell us story. We'll tell you, or we can direct you. And the one clinician I have in here is Lady E, so she's been pressed into business early. Just listening, Lady, you got anything that you want to? She goes, now Dr. Marshall. First thing I'll say is now Dr. Marshall. You got it. Okay.
For PTSD.
Yeah.
Complex PTSD.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Complex
PTSD. Complex PTSD. Oh, yeah, no. So stay with us. And you just stay with us and I'll have something for you. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you for that call too.
877-955-1061. We're off to a good start. Call with questions. We'll do our best to answer them. Recall with your own experiences, and if you found something, and maybe you have an answer for what she was asking for, uh, especially if you found something that works, whether depression or ADHD, was it
ADHD?
ADHD or all the alphabets. All right, but all right. But here's see, we get to you.
Let's do it. Let's run it.
Okay. Hi, you're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Say your name, where you're calling from, and tell us what you want to talk about.
Hey, thank you so much. My name is Emil. I'm calling from Oakland. I'm a big fan of KMEL. Really happy to hear you all speaking about this on the radio this evening. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in my 20s. Very intense. Been managing it since then. But even the figure that you mentioned, the 12 to 17% life expectancy, I mean, that's a real figure. Not to mention the prison population, large. I mean, just the nature nurture factors in all of this. It's just really nice to hear you all speaking about this publicly and sharing thoughts and resources. I just want to thank you for that.
What have you discovered? If and I know a little of about. There's no quote cure. I guess that's correct. You manage it.
Yeah.
But how has it been for you? And what have you found out that helps you with that?
It's a good question. I mean, I'm 43 years old. That's 23 years in from a diagnosis. Not to share on behalf of my family too much, but I'm not the only person in my family. Lucky for me, another loved one was diagnosed earlier than I was, had slightly different condition. But to me, I know it's also possible for people to kind of yearn for a hypomanic or even a manic state. So I just try to stay humble, keep my head down. There's medicine, there's meditation. But honestly, it's hard to navigate. A medical system is not always corresponding to my needs. Reach out to health systems expecting one thing, getting another kind of mode of care. So it's confusing. But I found that mainly, and I'll try to keep it brief, but just keeping an open channel with loved ones, with people that are close to me, so that I can say, hey, if you all think there's something going on with me, I'm always going to listen, because it's a philosophically bad position to think someone else thinks that I'm not well, but I think I'm well. That's almost always bad. So just try to listen to my loved ones. I guess I would share that.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was great. That's one of my key points I was going to bring up today is within this disorder, you have, again, bringing in accountability too. We do a lot of embarrassing things, or we do a lot of things that aren't necessarily speaking to our character. Very harmful things as well. But a part of that is taking accountability. And what that means is, even though we weren't in our right state of mind, we have to take control of what we can, which is making a plan, which is saying with our loved ones, if you see this and this and this, that might be called for X protocol. Talking to your psych, having a therapist, let alone meeting with your therapist regularly, knowing what it is to have effective therapy sessions, homework, really, where you're reading up on what your diagnosis may be, you're reading up on coping skills. It truly is a whole life mission that you have.
Yeah, you have. I guess it is.
It's a whole. It can get exhausting, I'm not gonna lie.
Daily,
but
yes.
Once you build these things, but that's what I mean. It's just so important that he said that, and really, it was perfect.
Another call. All right. Okay. Hi, you're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Say your name, where you're calling from, and what do you want to say? You there? Yep, I hear you. I heard somebody.
Hi there, you're on the air.
You there?
Hello?
Yes. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Thank you. So I was misdiagnosed with bipolar and then later found out that I had CPTSD, like you have mentioned. And I'm wondering how you know the difference between the bipolar and the CPTSD, and what kind of doctor you have helping you with that.
Yeah, so it could get very confusing, right? Because they mirror. It's same with ADHD too. They also mirror each other in a lot of ways. So I think, again, very confusing. So it's I can't always tell you, and I don't always have the answer, but I know that a lot of these coping mechanisms
work for both
and many more. So again, my number one thing is my plan. If I'm starting to feel funny, I got, thank the Lord, I got a good 5-6 people that I can rely on. As far as the CPTSD goes, I notice it It's again, this me even trying to answer is confused. Oh, go ahead.
Well, you say you were misdiagnosed, right?
Oh, yeah.
You still there?
Yes, I am. Well, because CPTSD and bipolar have very similar symptoms, and I did not feel like I was bipolar, but that was what they diagnosed me as. And then with more therapy, more treatment, more research, I then found out that I actually have CPTSD, and so I've been treating that. And for a long time, I did it as holistically as I possibly could, but then got to a point where I needed to get some medical help. I started taking Western medicine to really help. But for me, it's really a holistic approach. It's not just the medicine. It's not just acupuncture. It's not just meditation. It's not just dance, right? It's all the things together. And I have created a trauma informed support system around me. So I have specific people who I know I can go to for specific things. Like my mother loves me, but I cannot go to my mother when I get into those states.
Right.
So I have very specific people who I know, okay, when this is going on, I have a list and I look and then I call them, and I've kind of had to train them on how to support me in the best way. And so I'm just fascinated that you have been diagnosed with bipolar, CPTSD, and ADHD. And I'm just wondering how you untangled all of that and how you know what to treat what. Like, are you taking several or different medicines? I don't want to have you divulge any HIPAA information, but yeah, but I mean, are you taking a certain medicine for bipolar and certain medicine for CPTSD, or do they kind of overlap and help each other? How? I'm just fascinated by your story because I've had a similar journey.
Yeah, I think, and same with you, really. And I think I had the same approach as you. I only got diagnosed less than a year ago. I'm 31. I went a long time not really truly understanding the depths of what it is I had. It was already suspected I had ADHD and since I was a kid, but I think much like with your journey, it was trying everything I could.
Yeah.
Um, and again, yeah, definitely I take my medication. I love my medication. It definitely helps. And I think it depends, truly. I think some days I might need my as needed medication if my PTSD is bad, if my dreams are getting really bad. If I'm starting to notice my, hypervigilance up there, also, I take note of these things. But the biggest part of it is cultivating the self-awareness. And that is a skill that you learn. Like I wasn't born with it. I wasn't good at it. I had to practice it. And, I had an amazing therapist, and I hope she doesn't mind that I shout her out. But Karen Bradfield in Berkeley changed my life. I could truly say that. She changed my life, really. She introduced me to a modality called, a modality called IFS, Internal Family Systems. That was the first pivotal point in my life where I really got to treat a lot of my traumas and opened me up to a whole new world that, to this day, I mean, even in the jail, I teach trauma informed groups, which I'm privileged to do. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was long, I know that was a lot, but I want to share my journey.
Not telling your story. You're on Street Soldiers. What's your name? Where you calling from? Mental health we're talking about. Go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Yanya. I'm calling from San Francisco. And I just wanted to say that I am really happy that you're, covering this because so many of our brothers lose their lives every day to, untreated mental health. And it is vital, vital, vital to bring awareness to this subject, especially as someone who, grew up with a lot of people who went misdiagnosed and weren't able to get the resources. And Josh, like you sitting there and being able to bring this to awareness and talking about your story, the tools you use to navigate this and how hard and difficult that is in itself, and that's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear that you're able to develop these systems and you're talking about it and making this knowledge accessible because it's a journey.
Yeah. And thank you so much. And I really appreciate that. I really do. And thank you for being somebody in my life that I could trust. I'm aware who Yanni is, but she's one of the people that I can go to.
Oh, wow.
She's one of those six.
It's nice to hear her love for you.
She's a
Hi.
incredible human being.
Caller, you're on Street Soldiers. Say your name, where you're calling from, and what do you want to talk about with regards to mental health? Hello?
Hi, my name's Tatiana. Hello.
Go ahead. I hear you, hon. Go ahead.
My name's Tatiana Hernandez. I'm from San Francisco.
What's
up, girl?
I just want to say, Josh, I am very proud to hear your story out loud. I feel like there's a lot of barbers and braiders in the industry that go through a lot of the similar things.
Yeah.
And hearing out loud, I hope that a lot of the barbers and braiders around the whole entire Bay Area hear this and take a little bit away with them and utilize that in their career. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
For sure.
Show the boys some love, girl. You know we
Yeah.
love you too.
My dog, man. Yeah.
I'm just saying they're blowing up the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. All right, all right, caller, you're on. Go right ahead. All right, say your name, where you calling from.
Hi, this is Dejana Curry from Oakland. I wanted to say thank you for shining the light on mental health. I remember listening to the Street Soldiers back from 2001 to 2003 in middle school. But I just wanted to say I didn't diagnose, but I battled like a silent depression. My mom transitioned 5 years ago to like postpartum depression after having my twin daughter.
Yeah.
That was never really addressed. I just kind of went through it silently and didn't say nothing. But I did find what helps me is like being out in the community. And I think that's mainly it. I wanted to shout out to Oakland Tribe and community organization. I find once I'm, in and around like my people, I feel happy, and it's not just me alone in my thoughts.
Thank you, hon. Thanks for calling. Absolutely. Definitely not alone. Yeah. All right. Postpartum is a real thing. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing. That is a real thing. Truly. You're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Say your name, where you're calling from. We're talking about mental health.
Hello. I thank you guys for doing this. I'm calling from Oakland. I'm calling more so as an advocate. I've been an advocate for my sister who's dealt with bipolar depression, manic depressive for some years now. And I just thought maybe just a little bit of information that our family has gone through would help somebody.
Yes.
A lot of the times when you have to call for an ambulance or call for help for a 5150 in Oakland, they tend to send all of our people to John George, okay? John George is not, of course, it's a facility, but it's not the best of facilities. Mm-hmm. I noticed that they kind of group everyone together. They give them all the same medication, in which I found that did not help my sister. My sister, she was having a moment, and we ended up advocating for her because you have to have somebody. And I know everyone does not have someone to advocate for them, but we had to have someone advocate for her. And we ended up taking her to Berkeley, okay? After taking her to Berkeley to Herrick Hospital, that's when she began to do groups. She got the help that she needed. It was more of a personalized situation. She ended up getting out after the group. She had another moment, and we ended up taking her to a hospital in Fremont. I can't remember the name of the hospital, but I said that to say this. If there's someone that can advocate for someone that's going through a mental crisis and avoid them going to John George, it is very helpful. My sister, it's been about 10 years now, and after she went to that hospital in Fremont, they really had personalized care there.
Okay.
It kind of scared us in the beginning because she's an adult. She's over the age of 18. And, they have to make their decisions on their own. So it's not like we could just call and talk to her and find out what's going on. So that part scared us. But to make a long story short, she ended up getting on this medication. And a lot of the times, the problem we were having was they diagnosed her, give her these pills. But after she started feeling better, life started going good again, she would stop taking the medication, which would bring the illness back. And so after we took her to the hospital in Fremont, she's been on this medication for some years now, but they give her a shot once a month.
Okay.
She's seen at Highland now, so everything is much better. But if there's someone that can advocate for someone that's going through something like that, it really helps the situation. I know a lot of the times we don't have that, but if you can look into the shot, get the shot, because they're not relied on to take the medication on their own. It's something that they even have a 6-month shot where you go twice a year. But we put her on the monthly shot, and everything's been fine ever since. So I hope that little bit of information could help somebody, that's going through something like that. Like, don't give up on them. It is a process, but do not give up on them. There's help at the end of the road.
Thank you. Just to say you truly saved a life. So I really want you and your family to understand the severity, that situation was, the gravity of it.
Way to go, sis.
Yeah.
All right, you're on Street Soldiers. Say your name, where you're calling from. We're talking about mental health. Go right ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Hey, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Are you aware of the viewpoints of Tom Cruise and the Church of Scientology in regards to psychiatric meds?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm not. No, I don't think Lady.
No.
He is either. No.
No.
Mike, he could probably look it up.
Okay.
And this is it.
Okay.
And it's controversial. I mean, the success rate. I mean, you're getting some calls that are positive with some success. But how about failure? The failures. Things that didn't work out because of such drugs. The suicide is pretty big.
Yeah.
And they. The numbers, the stats.
Yeah. I think we're all aware of that. That's why we're asking for things that's working.
Also, though, it does take time.
Yeah.
Right. Like
yeah.
it's not just Tylenol that you could take. There's a regimen, and again, it's holistic. It's a whole life approach.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for coming. All right, we got another caller. You're on Street Soldiers. Say your name, where you're calling from. We're talking about mental health. Go right ahead.
Hello, this is Riggs from Hayward.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling.
I had been on self-medicating myself for almost 15 years with narcotics and, really pain pills. And my whole childhood, I had ADHD. And when I started taking these pills, all of a sudden it went away. Well, here I am 15 years later, I let it go. Like I quit taking these pills, and man, the monster has arrived.
Oh, wow.
And it's very difficult to deal with, but I've been coping with it in my own way and lost a lot of weight just walking. But walking just helps so much, but I'd like to share that with everybody.
So have you seen a clinician, a therapist, since this has come back?
Yeah, so I did. I have, and they made me write down my life story, and I had my mother write her opinions and all these questions and stuff as well, because I wanted to know if I had ADHD, because I had never been diagnosed with it. But my whole childhood, I'd been in special education. Yeah, I could read and write, but, my attention level, right? So, this is all brand new to me. And also, and to follow up with that, yes, I did. And it's been 3 months and I've heard nothing back. So the mental health system, we all know, is flawed.
Yeah.
To say the least, you're putting it nicely.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people will say broken or non-existent.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I tell the doctor, I told these people, that I was on drugs for all these years and all this. And you think, I know there's other people out there that need help as well. And I think that's how they judge it. I'm not sure how they do case by case, but eventually I will see somebody and I will sit down. It's just the loopholes you have to go through. Whether you have insurance or not, it doesn't matter, honestly. It really doesn't.
And brother, I would just say keep on, because that is a fight worth having for sure. I mean, you got to be your biggest advocate. You're right about the system. It's not designed for what it's meant to treat, which is ironic and funny.
Oh, man. Okay.
Quick thing I want to add as well, too. The most likely people to not be on medication is people that feel great when taking it, because then you think, oh, I don't need it.
Yeah.
You get off of it. very dangerous. So I'm glad the caller before that touched on it.
Yeah. We got another call? Oh, okay. Lady, I don't know if you want to say anything to that last caller. I hope he does get into what I would call treatment,
For
right?
sure.
And I do feel bad about folks that trying to get treatment and can't get it. We got one. I can't tell.
Yeah, we got one call.
Okay.
Then we
All
gonna
right.
go to
All right. Hi, you're on. Say your name, where you're calling from. We're talking about mental health here on Street Soldiers.
Hello, family. This is Joanna Hernandez with Freedom Raiders.
Another 6.
I just want to say thank you so much for bringing this very important topic. Just even people like radio hosts, case managers, social service provider, like that trauma that you get from hearing. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called vicarious trauma. I'm not too sure, but like, yeah, like the mental health that like service providers go through, having to constantly hear it. Even these calls on Sunday, I know that Dr. Marshall debriefs with his own self for his own mental health. And I think we don't talk about that a lot in the work that we do as social service providers. So I think we need to bring more awareness amongst providers who work with people who are going through transition or who are dealing with with mental health themselves. And I think it's important to continue. So thank you, Josh, for always hooking up with our folks over there in Alive and Free and bringing awareness. And I know at the end, Mrs. Stell's going to give it to us. So I'm hanging on for her blessings at the end. But I just want to shout everybody out.
Thank you, Joe. And, thank you for being a big part of my life.
We know how she is.
Yeah.
You know how she is. All right, going to break, right? It's time to go to break. All right, we'll be back. Tell them and about hour number 2.
Still, right?
Go.
Going to address
something. Yep.
Is it Mrs. Still going to address something about?
Well, when we come back.
We'll do it when we come back. Okay, tell everybody.
You got to tell her to be on. Yeah.
So thank you so much, everybody who called in and shared. We're going to keep going. You can follow us at YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free. You can always take us on the go when you head on over to stayaliveandfree.org.
Hour number 2, Alive Man Free Street Soldiers Radio. We're talking about mental health this evening. Great first hour. A lot of wonderful calls. Great discussion. Just great everything. I'm like, whoa, that was quite a first hour. We're going to continue this hour on YouTube. We are joined by someone I love Josh too. Let me just say I love Josh. Joshua Jacobo. I love Josh.
Likewise.
Before I say this other one, I'm not going to say I really love him, but I've known this one longer.
Sure.
Joined by Jamila Collins. Like everybody call her Mila. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, honey. Thank you. Thank you for joining us once again. This will be the 3rd time that you've been on the show. Sharing your journey. I'm gonna call it your journey with bipolar. I don't know if you heard any of the first hour, Josh, speaking about his condition, and I tell you what happened, Jamila. He was gonna talk a lot the first hour, but all the phone calls came in, so he didn't get to talk a lot about. And the one thing, just before we get there, I want you to hear a little bit from him.
Okay.
He and Josh, I just got this. You just got
less than a year ago.
Diagnosed. Less than a year. Yeah. Diagnosed less than a year. So, how old are you?
31.
Yeah. All right. I remember when I was 31, 150 years ago. Did you know what was? I mean, like.
Did I know something was wrong?
Yeah.
I knew something was off. Yeah, I knew something was off. I didn't. Because this is the thing. I try to describe to people. They're like, so what is it like having bipolar?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like asking a fish what water is, right? He's in water since he was born. He has no point of reference for being out of water, right? So I've had to learn, like, what really is this? Because this is my everyday life.
What's going on with me is, I mean,
I make observations like, okay, maybe so-and-so doesn't go through the same highs and lows that I do, or maybe not the extremes that I do, but you don't know anything else. So it's really, and that's why bipolar can be so dangerous because you don't know when you've gone over the ledge and that dial, that volume is turned all the way up to where you are just, you, yeah, you've lost touch with reality sometimes. Like it could be that scary.
So did you go to a therapist or you read up on it? And I mean, how did you
So
get
I
into?
knew definitely again with Karen, who was my therapist, who changed my life. She we knew that I had a lot of trauma, CPTSD. She couldn't formally diagnose me, um, but I knew that there was something there. And then ADHD. I mean, I dropped out when I was like a sophomore, so I just couldn't do school at all.
Mhm.
So I thought I had that. Now bipolar to me was a surprise because I just didn't see myself as a bipolar person. I actually challenged my psychiatrist too when he told me. I was like, "Man, you tripping, right? Like you have bipolar. Don't tell me I have that." you know? And yeah, like I asked him like, "How sure are you of this?" And I'm not trying to take up too much time. I'm sorry, I'll quit.
That's
But
the way you're not taking up too much time.
yeah,
Take the
but
time we need.
yeah, and when I had asked him, I'm like, "How sure are you?" Right? It's like the third time I'm asking him. He's like, "All right." He started breaking out all the stuff. He's like, on the initial assessment, usually we know somebody has it around 70-ish%, 60 when they score 70-ish or 60-ish%. He's like, you scored a 93 on the first assessment. I was like, oh, okay. And then he just started going down list and list, and I was like, all right, bro, I get it. So it was that, and then I think just reflecting. I mean, a part of the reason why I even got into the work that I do now is to make amends to the people I've affected and to make amends to myself. And I think that this was a big part of it. I think it explained a lot of those periods in my life that I don't think accurately reflect who I am to the fullest. So I hope that answered your question. I know it was
Some
very
manic episodes, the depressive episodes. I
a
know
little
that.
bit of both. Yeah. So if I could describe just to mania again or bipolar in general,
Yeah.
you could think of it like a dial for volume, right? Like on your car, turn up the volume or whatever. Based on these stages, the depressive and the manic one, you can think that with the maniac, I'll say this. It's like you turn the volume all the way up to like the loudest song you can listen to. You can't hear anything else. You're fully in mania. You're spinning. I even tell you like this. Last week, I had to get myself again. This is how there's no cure. You just manage it. Last week, I spent almost $3,000. It was mostly on Trump's gas. I'm fine, but all that right. I had to again take my as needed medication. I had a plan. I realized, okay, now I got to cancel all these orders and I got to work backwards, right? So that's what mania can be,
And work backwards.
right?
Yeah.
I gotta again, you treat the illness first. It's the first thing that you do.
Mhm.
So you enact your plan that you already had, and people know what to look out for. So I had to again pull back a lot, and that's not the first time that's happened. I think I shared with you, like
Yeah.
I've been in credit card debt over $20,000 like 3 times in my life, 3 different times. So that can happen. Again, we're highly irritable. When we're manic, it could just seem like we're party animals, like we're just at the club all the time. We're a good time. We don't need sleep, you know.
don't need
So people often don't even recognize that something's wrong.
Yeah.
But in a moment's notice, we could throw away our life. You know.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the manic side. The depressive side
yeah.
could look like the opposite. It's not always crying. For me, I don't really cry much, which I wish I did. I'm not trying to do it as like a boast. For me, it's like I can't even like get out of bed. I don't have the motivation to move. This is not something I could just will myself out of and just think positive. Um, it's the ability to even show up to your job, the ability to shower. Imagine not having the motivation to like get up and brush your teeth. And even if you just do that for the day, you won, right? Like it's truly, truly debilitating. It can be. And again, because of these high states, you can ruin friendships. You definitely ruin relationships. You can ruin, relationships with your family. Your job can suffer. There's a lot of consequences that come to this, particularly though untreated. I will say.
Yeah.
I see a vast difference in the fact that I got treated. I'm accepting treatment now, and I'm proud of it, man. It's been the best thing that's happened to me.
You mentioned we're gonna come back to this because
I want to hear from Jamila for sure too.
Well,
Yeah.
they're probably nodding her head. Say, yeah, I know what he's talking about, right? But I want to come back to what you've seen when you talk about working with the guys who are locked up.
Yeah.
And that. So, Jamila, does this
Yeah.
sound familiar?
Very familiar.
Jamila, what's going on?
Hi there. Um, I want to just commend you for being so brave, for you to be not even 2 years into your diagnosis and to be willing to like share that with the world is pretty awesome. And you're a guy because typically, guys, girls are sometimes a little bit more easier to like share certain kind of things. For me, like, so I am 48 years old. I've known Dr. Marshall since I was 11.
Wow.
And I got diagnosed in my mid 20s. And I didn't feel comfortable talking about my my journey with bipolar disorder until about 6 or 7 years ago when I came on the first time. And yeah, it's no joke. Everything that you said, like the whole, like a volume thing between the depressive and the mania, it's absolutely the truth. For me, with my update basically is that I'm still, unfortunately, they're still trying to get me stable. They've been working on this most recently, it's been like, let's see, they started January 2022. So I'm over 4 years now where I haven't been able to be stable for really any real length of time. Back in, and I like started rapid cycling. So I've been kind of doing that for the last 4 years. In June of 2023, I recorded my longest depressive episode. It was like 114 days. And it was, me not eating, not wanting to drink water because I don't want to go to the bathroom. I don't want to get out of the bed. Not showering, the brushing the teeth, all of that stuff. It's like those things that you just get up and just do, like, like it's nothing. It's like, feels like trying to climb Mount Everest.
Right.
And it's so crazy too, because thankfully, I happen to be very loved. I'm super blessed. I got a lot of support, family, friends, all the things. And, when I am in the depressive episode, like, for my own self, I'm super high functioning. And so when I'm in the depressive episode and I can't get out the bed to brush my teeth, it's like, this is some BS. And I don't want to live my life this way. Like, it's just so hard when it's just you're just waiting for the fog to go away so you can like be your normal self again. And yeah, it's just very difficult. It's so difficult. And like, they'll be like, well, Mila, I mean, like, so yeah, so like, oh, I had some water or I brushed my teeth and I share, oh, well, those, like he said, the little wins. But I'm like, F those little wins. That ain't real. I am not a child, okay?
Oh, man.
I am not my nephew or my niece who's 4 years old learning to brush her teeth and wash herself. Like, no, I am grown. So it's very hard for me. Like, it's like, I don't want to hear about these little wins, okay? I was like, I got stuff to do. Things aren't being taken care of. Like, my life is in shambles in a sense. And it's just like, it's just not cool. And so, it's like, and thankfully, so like I said, so the medication, they're still trying to work on that. I've done TMS 3 times now. The first time I did it was it got started within that 114-day depressive episode. And TMS is transcranial magnetic stimulation. And it's basically, they put this like thing on the top of your head and it like supposed to send electronic pulses to your brain. And so basically, like they say, the depressed brain doesn't have a lot of brain activity. And so basically what the TMS is supposed to do is supposed to help stimulate brain activity to hopefully help you come out of your depressive episode. So, um, so yeah, it's rough. It's still just been rough. I mean, like when you, Dr. Marshall, when you asked me to like do an update, I'm like, there's really no update. I'm still not stable. Like things are still crazy. But I'm like, here, I'll get on. I mean, again, I mean, it's real. It's my life. It's just what it is. And, I do try to, when I'm feeling okay, I try to do what I can do. I sometimes overdo it, and I've had to learn to try to scale back when I'm feeling okay, because I never know when the depressive episode is going to come back. And if I use too much energy trying to like catch up from being depressed and bedridden, then I can make the next depression worse. So that was like something I had to learn over time. Um, and it's just very like difficult. Like recently I had some deaths in the family, and my cousin's mom passed away and a few weeks ago, and I was in a depressive episode, and I just was like, I can't go to a funeral. Like I can't go to a funeral, I can't go to a wake, like I can't do it. And it was in San Francisco, I'm in Castro Valley. I was just like, I can't. And so like my parents were like, they were gonna go, and they're like, Mila will come and get you. And I'm like, no, I'm like, how am I like, I can't do it. And I feel horrible. I feel so bad about it. So that's another thing too, because life is still moving on regardless, on if we are able to function or not. And it sucks. But like I carry a lot of guilt around, you know, not being able to show up for things that I want to do because my brain has decided, it wants to be depressed. So, yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
I think
update.
you're saying that too. I mean, seriously, it my heart goes out to you definitely, and I admire just how you even carry it. I mean, look at all those smiles and And another thing too, I wanted to mention, when we're in those depressed states, sometimes we try to like trigger our mania just to get out of it, you know,
True.
and that is like a dangerous thing too.
Yes.
I never thought about that, but I
You're
guess
trying to get over the other side because you
like,
want to live. You know what I'm saying? You want to function, so you're trying to
but
like,
the other side is just as bad as this
and
side.
it's gonna make your
It
depressive episode worse the next time, like like you were sharing.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, for me, I haven't really been able to trigger it. Like I know the biggest thing for me is like sleep. And like I know for me, like if I start to come out of a depressive episode, and then it could go into mania. Like if I see myself like waking up, I'm falling asleep at 1 in the morning, I'm waking up at 4, and I can like get up and clean the whole house kind of thing. It's like I have to force myself to like stay in the bed for at least 6 hours even if I don't sleep. Otherwise, I can go into mania, and that's not good either. It's like you don't want to be, so it's like I have to really watch myself in the mania to make sure that I don't let it get bad, and I have to, make sure I'm sleeping. Take more drugs if I'm still not sleeping. I've ended up in the ER because of not sleeping for a couple, a few days or whatever. And it's like, to have them put something in the IV to make me sleep for some hours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all of it can all be very like it's just not something to that's cavalier. And I feel like right now, I don't feel as like when I first came on and was talking about it, I felt like there were a lot more people in the world that still would use the word bipolar very cavalierly. Like, oh, the weather's bipolar, or you're being bipolar, like just throwing it out there, just and have no clue what it is. And so it has been like kind of my thing. Like if I ever hear that, I'm like checking people left and right. Like, don't do that. Like you have no idea what that word actually is, what that disease is. Like you have no clue unless you were either living it or living with somebody with it. You just can't just throw it out there. It's serious. People die. I
You're right
unfortunately
about
so
that, Jamila. People do throw that word out there,
for sure.
making a, I don't know, making a joke
Yeah.
or, well said.
Yeah. I mean, but I think things are, like I said, it's not as bad as it was, but it's still happening. There's still some ignorance out there. But I feel like there's just like so much since I came on the first time, I feel like there's been so much more talking about mental health all over the place, everywhere, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And another thing too I want to mention that was told to me too, and I just hear it with you, like this saying just rings in my head. Um, how we're doing and our functioning in our life, right, and what our life may look like, isn't
Mhm.
always a reflection of how sick we are. It's a reflection of how well we handle it, how well we deal with it. So I think right now everybody here is just, you're just so well spoken, you're so articulate with it. You're able to just really put your experience at the forefront in like a really digestible way. And I think just to the naked ear, I guess they might just kind of look past really what it is that you've gone
Mhm.
through.
Well, we caught me on a day where I'm not in a depressive episode. So I got lucky. I'm like, let's see. It's Tuesday. So Tuesday, I came out of my most recent depressive episode. That was like 10
Love
days.
that. Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna jump in. It's so good to see you. It's always so good to see you. So Jamila, it's good to see you. And Joshua, it's wonderful to see you, meet you, and hear you. So for both of you, we had a question earlier. Well, first of all, let me just say that hearing you, both of you, articulate, clear, it's just amazing hearing you and then knowing what you're experiencing. To hear you, who's going to believe that there's anything going on?
True.
Because it's so, it's hard to explain. I don't have a word. Can you believe that? I don't have a word to describe how amazing it's been listening to you, hearing you, and knowing and seeing what you're dealing with and that you are. That's amazing. Enough to help others, which is what you're doing tonight and what you're about to do again. Because we got a call earlier. I don't have this experience. I have other things that I'm dealing with. But this one, I can't speak to. It's not my scope of, it's not my scope. But let me just say that hearing you, if they're listening and paying attention, they've got some answers. So we got a call. Lady called in and she said, what is the best approach for someone with CPTSD? And sometimes we use these words, these labels, these acronyms. People don't know what that is. And so when you explained it, so it's so important to make sure you know it, but all the others don't. Complex PTSD. Whoa. Oh.
Oh
no. That's my okay. That's my ADD. Okay. All right. We've all got that. All right. So PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, CPTSD, complex. That's prolonged exposure to the trauma.
And multiple as well.
Right.
And multiple. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that. It's important to know what that is. Prolonged, multiple exposure. And I'm going to say something about ADHD. When it happens to babies, children, small kids. When we get our babies, for the listeners, and we do this, you put them on your knee, and that baby is just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. That's training their insights. Typically, the child that's bounced and bounced and bounced, no trauma except the bouncing, trains their insides to expect that. So by the time they get in kindergarten and they've been bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced, they can't sit down because their insides expect that. So they're running and running and running. That 3-year-old that won't be still, somebody was doing this. Just bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. And now the body says, the body, the brain, all of that. So people, young people with your babies, now I'm paranoid about the bug. I don't know where the bug came from. Okay. So you swallow them, you hold them. You're gonna rock them, you sway. But you don't do this to babies because that's the beginning of an ADHD situation.
Wow.
Okay, right. We don't know that. And I just learned that working with children, parents, they're kindergartners now have to, okay, so that's that thing. All right. So now with this PTSD and this CPTSD, is there a one-step thing that people can do who are bipolar with the CPTSD? Or is it individual? There is no one thing that works for everybody. Can you answer that question? Can you tell us, and for the woman whose niece know, what is the best approach? Because she was misdiagnosed. She discovered instead of just PTSD, it was CPTSD.
Yeah. Jamila, do you want to take that first, or you want me to run it?
You can go first.
So for me, I think with my CPTSD, even before I really even knew I had it, it was a healing modality, IFS, internal family systems. And essentially what that type of therapy is that the trauma, we look at it not like we look at the body, we look at the trauma as a freeze in time. Whenever that trauma happened to you, if you were 9, 10, 12, 17, 21, whatever, your body takes a picture of it and it stores it in a part of your body. So we look at an emotional body, we make a sum of an emotional body. Just like we have a physical body, we have arms, legs, hands, nails, hair, so on. The same with your emotional body. So when you're fragmented, right, you have different trauma points in your life. What's going back under unpacking that?
Yeah.
And essentially you're looking at that 9-year-old boy or you're looking at that 11-year-old girl as if you were the parent and you're identifying what it is that they need. What did I feel in that moment? What did that little boy feel in the moment? You're removing yourself kind of from the situation and you're looking at it through the compassionate eye of an adult in a very horrible situation, nurturing the child, giving the child what it needed at that point. So I'm giving you a super quick rundown of what that is. But for me, like I said, it was life changing and it started my journey to where I am today. Without Karen, I wouldn't have been able to have that. But I will say it absolutely 1,000, 1,000,000% is individualized. What might work for me might not work for Jamila and other way around.
Okay.
Think of that book, The Body Keeps the Score.
For sure.
You can
Yeah.
check that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that. Jamila, can you speak to that?
Okay, so I would definitely say for all of it, not one thing works for everybody. There's just no such thing as that, unfortunate. I mean, we wish there was just a pill like, oh, you got bipolar? Okay, here, just take this, you'll be good. Like, I've taken so many different drugs over this 20 plus years. They consider me treatment resistant at this point. And then so if someone has trauma on top of that, I mean, and I know I kind of have my own trauma, like around like with my pregnancy losses. And I would definitely say that, yes, you definitely want to have a good person to talk through, an objective therapist to kind of talk through things with, that you trust. Like you want to make sure it's a good fit, because I feel like having that, it's like kind of having your own little superhero behind you to kind of like help you kind of see things for what they are, and like try to just help you move forward. Like, because again, like the trauma is not going away, but it's like you have to look at, like Joshua said, you have to kind of look at it for like that moment in time, and kind of, and try not to let that influence how you're moving forward, if that makes sense. Because I, like, for me, I just feel like the trauma doesn't go away. I feel like I live with it every second of every day, but it's just in my mind through all the therapy I've had over all these years. And it's just, me, my own self, like pushing stuff, just trying to like compartmentalize. I have to do that a lot. And, because it's just, it's a lot. And I couldn't imagine someone having complex PTSD, like, yikes. and, it's just a lot. But I mean, I definitely would say trying to get treatment around the bipolar disorder, trying to get stable. I feel like that would be trying to get stable around that will, I think, allow for a better chance to, deal with the CPTSD as well.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more.
So Joshua, did you have anything to say in addition to that, or in relation to that, before I go to my next helping the public question?
I think I'm ready for the helping the public question.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to share 10 years ago, I had a stroke, and that stroke came through okay. It's what, thanks to God, nothing but the grace of God. Brain still functioning, things are still, but it triggered for a while panic attacks. Mm-hmm. So when they came, the first one that came, it just kind of caught me off guard. And I was driving, really? All right, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Right. And I just, it was just, I'm not going to go into all that. But the next one, I could feel it coming. I could feel it. And because I just got sensitive, because this can't be happening while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? It's like having vertigo while you're driving down the street, the car and everything. No. So, you've got to help me with this. So I just learned how to pay attention. And you said, I watch myself. And Joshua, you said, yes, you just got to pay attention. So when that bipolar, when those episodes are triggered, are you able to, and you said, and sometimes you don't even know that you're in it.
Sometimes you go over that line.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject on you.
No, but see, that's what I'm asking for, because I've been able to sense the panic attacks coming. And because when I can feel it, then I will go into there's some things that I will do that will settle it so that it doesn't get full blown. It doesn't just take me out, because it can. Right. So I'm just wondering, is any of that available for you? Any of that, have you done it, or is that a strategy that can be used?
Jamila, you want to go first? I'll go after
you. So I definitely have panic attacks a couple of times. Went to the emergency room thinking I was having a heart attack. And yeah, definitely just learn to watch the triggers that I know for me with panic, why I would have a panic attack. I know those triggers. I try to stay away from them. And if I'm not able to, again, it's just through different, I guess, exercises that I've, gone through and learned with my therapist on like what to do. With the removing myself, the making sure I'm taking lots of deep breaths, and trying to try to calm myself. If I need to, like, if I can like go outside and get some fresh air, like, just those, that's what I do when I am having to deal with a panic attack. And then as far as kind of knowing when things are gonna be happening with the depression and the mania. So for the most part, I would say for me, it would be like I would wake up and I would be depressed, or I would be manic, or I'd be not necessarily manic, but I would be like functional. Because basically, any depressive episode I'm having, I'm not functional. So for me, there's no real triggers for the cycling for me that I experience. And like people will ask, like, well, was there anything that kind of triggered your depression? And I'm like, no, like nothing, like again, nothing has happened. It'd be like, it's like nothing has changed. No, nothing awful has happened. It doesn't have anything to do with that, because I have, like, for instance, like I had mentioned earlier, like I'll like have, it'll be like say one of the anniversaries of one of the pregnancy losses or something like that. And if I'm not in a depressive episode, I still can move through that day functioning and do all the things that I was going to do. But on the inside, my heart's breaking because I'm very sad about, that particular day, but I'm not depressed, if that makes sense. And then, it could just be, like I said, it can just be any random day. So for me, I don't have triggers, for the episodes at all. It just kind of happens. But what I do have control over is when they do happen is like I had mentioned earlier, if I, feel like I am getting manic, making sure that I sleep, then making sure that I'm eating well. I'm making sure, like, what activities am I doing? Am I feeding the mania, like with the shopping and the, all of that? Like I have to kind of keep myself away from it. With the depressive episodes, a lot of it, I struggle. I get lots of all these very intrusive thoughts, and it'll be like, oh, Mila, you're a burden to your family, or you're a burden to your fiance. Like you can't, like you're this old and your mother has to come and bring you food to make sure you're eating during this depressive episode. And, like I have just all this stuff in my head, and I've had to learn um, to allow, like the thoughts come, and I have to say, okay, they're not facts. They're not facts. They're not facts. It's a thought. It's not a fact. And so like that kind of helps me, because I could like go on a spiral, because sometimes it's like, I don't want to be here. It's like, if I can't live my life like a normal person, and and I'm having all these thoughts, these horrible, negative, intrusive thoughts that are coming at me, and it's like I have to be still to make sure I don't like go do something I can't take back. So it's like having being able to have the things in place to kind of help you survive the depression or the mania is really the biggest thing. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good.
These are all wonderful. So listeners out there, Jamila just gave you some strategies. So write them down. If it's necessary to put them on the wall, put them on the wall. Make sure you have access to what things you can do when you feel it or when you're in it and you can see it. Then talk to yourself. Give you what you need, because sometimes that's what it's going to take. Joshua, can you address that question before I go to the next thing?
Yeah, I
And
think
then we'll give it back to Dr. Marshall.
sure, yeah, and I think Jamila was a great answer. I think just to my point earlier is sometimes you can't realize it, but if you're in this in between state, you want to let your support network know immediately. Another thing that Jamila brought up is that's what she's talking about, those thoughts of not being here. That's ideation. So that is a huge part. I mean, it comes with bipolar. First ideation, the idea I ever had was like third grade, and I had a plan too. Like, so you just, it really comes hand in hand. So you got to notice if your ideation is getting higher, your support network needs to know, your psych needs to know, everybody needs to know. And again, you have to have plans and protocols how to address these things. But I think Jamila just, she answered it very, very well.
That's how you deal with it.
But with the ideation,
Yeah.
we go into action.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
go into
It
action
ramps up for sure.
for you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. We got protocols in place. For sure.
Absolutely. I want to thank you. Let me just say some things that I've just made notes of that could be beneficial. And like you say, no one thing works for everybody, but what works for you, what works. What works. That's right. Okay. And what don't work. And it makes good sense to do what works.
Absolutely.
So some of the things that they say work is talk therapy, trauma-informed therapy, and trauma-focused CBT. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay. 2, grounding strategies. Grounding strategies, because sometimes in these stages or cycles, we're not in our bodies. Sometimes you don't even feel your hands, your feet. You just moving, on the move or not moving. Sometimes they suggest running cold water on your hands just to get back in your body. Walking, breathing, meditating. And then one that's a fun one is sun time. Sit out in the sun. That's vitamin D. Vitamin D. And people of color who, let me just say, when you're in that sun and it's coming right into your pineal gland, something's going to happen for you. So sun time is another thing. The third thing is EMDR is one of the things that can be beneficial in helping to reprogram, helping with the brain to reprocess traumatic experiences. That's eye movement, desensitization, reprocessing. It helps the brain to reprocess traumatic memories. Medication. A lot of people do not want to go with the medication. And I have not heard anybody with bipolar who use medication and say, it's not good for me. Medication is very beneficial. So if it's required, if the doctor prescribes it, take it. And then the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 techniques. Be able to say 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. Positive self-talk works. And most importantly of all, pay attention to yourself. Just pay attention to yourself. Get to know yourself. Who are you in this situation, in this condition? When you are major, stretched out, and you got to go brush your teeth. You read the sign, get up, go brush your teeth. And if you have to put some other little extra words in there, get up, girl, go brush your teeth. All right, boy, you've been in that shirt long enough. Change it. Pay attention to yourself. Talk sweet to yourself. And I love that one that you said, Jamila, like, it's a thought. It's not real.
Yeah, I think that has saved me so much throughout all these depressive episodes I've had most recently, because yeah, it's pretty bad. And I have had to have the conversations and, because before I was like I'm much better at it now. And I just have to sit and distract myself. I feel like that has really saved my life. Just being able to recognize that the things that I'm saying or that's in my head, that it's not just to try to, drown it out some kind of way, reading, watching TV, whatever, just sitting still, don't make any like snap decisions. Because what I didn't get a chance to really mention, but in something happened this year, someone I know or grew up with was diagnosed bipolar within the last, I think within the last 7 or 8 years, and they committed suicide. And it was horrible. Like, it's someone I'd known since I was like 11 years old. And it was just really, really awful. And it's just so like, like you hear about, people committing suicide and with the mental illnesses and all of that. But when it's like someone you have like direct access to, to me, it hit me so different. And I was so sad, so sad. And and I just, for my own self, it's like, okay, like, Jamila, just keep doing what you're doing.
What you doing, baby? Because
Yeah.
what works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hearing and answering my questions and being such a gift to those who are listening, because that talking to yourself, that last thing you said, that works for everybody. Everybody. Because who doesn't have a thought? If you do something and let's say you make a mistake or you fail at it, what are you going to tell yourself? Get up, you can do it again. No, typically we say, we're just going to mess up every time. Why try again? It's never going to get. No, talk to yourself. Anyway, so thank you so much, Dr. Marshall. That's all that I have. And then I'm going to ask our guest to think about, because we've got time before we get to the end. I'm not going to close out tonight. I'm going to, yeah, that's right. Do you see his eyes pop over here? All right. No, I'm going to ask that you think about that's something that you can share with that person out there who's never said, I've got this condition, or who's dealing with it. Something that you can say to them to encourage, inspire, or lift them up, or, something. So we're going to get some words of power and inspiration for you to tonight. Think about it. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard, you guys. Dr. Marcia, back to you.
And because the conversation is so serious, right? Like we're dealing with real people, real people's lives and feelings. I did want to let people know that um, you can always dial 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also always text the word home, HOME, to the number 741 741. And then if you're in San Francisco, you can get local support by dialing 415-781-0500. And this is for yourself and for people that that are in distress. They will help you.
Real quick, so I just want to share some super brief, just some resources out there just to start. I mean, people don't know where to find a therapist. I go to Psychology Today, and there's filters there. Usually I'll go through trauma informed or CBT. So I just want to throw that out there real quick, and then back to you, Doc.
Thank you for that. That's
For
awesome.
sure.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm just listening. I'm listening. Yeah, and I'm thinking, Jamila, I love Jamila so much. I mean, Jamila, I see I be hugging Jamila. Since she was a little girl and went off to Howard, and
Hampton. I'm sorry. Hampton.
Hampton. Now she remembered that part. See that? I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. That was Sheeta and Layla. That was the Howard, not
Helping
me.
get it right, girl. Meg, helping get it right.
Oh my God. That's right. The first went to Hampton, the other two went to Howard. I'm sorry, Mila.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, you got a lot of graduates. I understand.
And I see, a couple things I want to say. I want to, by the way, so is he around? I mean, can I? I ain't never met him. You know, I'm talking about him.
Are you talking to me?
No, yes, I'm talking to you. I'm talking about that boyfriend.
Oh no, he's
Fiance.
gone.
Okay, okay. I've been trying to meet him for
Around.
years. Right?
But I'll let him know that you asked about him again. But no,
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
for certain gone to bed. Gets up at 4 in the morning.
okay, you tell him. Yeah, all right. Well, I want him. Thank you. Thank you for loving you. Okay,
Yes.
I want to tell him that. And
Dr. Marshall,
yes, sir.
she did say he gets up at 4 in the morning to go to work. You heard that part, right?
No, but I'll take it. I'll take your word and her word for it.
I'm just saying that's a good sign.
That's a good sign. And I want to thank obviously your mom and your sisters. You know, who like you talk about support team. In fact, the last time she was on the show, her mom and we talked how the family, helps out and deals with it. And I got you, yeah, your mom and the two sisters that went to the other school, and Josh, you man, man, this went by so fast and went by so well. And another point, we can't do too much now, but it's funny because you said what the percentage of the of in jail of people
30%.
30%.
And we're 2% of the general population.
Yeah, yeah. So, but you're working with the guys who are locked up, and
Yeah.
you go in there. If people on the outside can't get a lot of help, they must be like,
Yeah. I mean, they're overran, every department there is just overran, stretched to the max.
so they must not be getting any.
Well, I will say too, it is the, huge shout out to those that go in there and do the work genuinely from the heart. There's so many volunteers that go in there. There's so
Yeah.
many people that dedicate their life to this. So a big shout out to them. You know, Joanna Hernandez listening.
Yes,
She's
yes.
one of them.
Yeah,
you know?
but I'm thinking that population.
Yeah.
I mean, they already got the violence issues and the things they did and the issues they carry, and they're all in there together.
For sure.
And it's amazing. Sometimes this stuff don't blow off worse than it is in there.
For sure.
But yeah, that's we gotta help them.
Yeah.
Help
I
them.
think, this is a big part of it is like having the discussion. I look like some of them. I got the tattoos to go with it. I got the same similar life story, and so on and so on. So I think how I see it is I have a responsibility to put it out there. And there's nothing more manly than, identifying a problem and fixing it. There's nothing more womanly to do that as well.
Absolutely, and I know the people who go in there and do the best work are the non-judgmental folks. You can't be judgmental.
For sure. Not at all.
You gotta,
Definitely.
We're all this close to being in there. One little false move. One bad night. Yeah, exactly.
Bad decision way. And I know I am.
Mm-hmm.
Lord willing. I mean, I'm glad the Lord was there because I could have been, but for the grace of, that's why we say that, right? Thank you. Just like Lady E, we'll
It's amazing.
move it to you and let you give folks good words, good whatever you want to say to them, and then just thank you so much for
Being vulnerable and sharing.
everything you said, because this thing goes all over the world. So I just want it's not just I still get
You are not alone.
about Jamila. Well, Jamila's been on before, and people said she was great. So and hearing the update, Jamila, I know it might be, but it's really good for people. There are people rooting for you beyond just me and Mrs. Stella and your family.
I'm very grateful. So grateful.
Tons of people who are rooting for you who listen to the show. So, Josh, you want to
Close
out,
out.
Josh? Yes.
I don't know, man. I just think we had a great discussion today, and I'm super grateful to bring you on. I'm super grateful too for all my mentors and community that allowed me, saw potential in me to do this work, who coached me. Again, that's the Joanna Hernandez, it's the Valerie Tullier, Lewa, I always mess that up, the Tracy Browns, just so many people that I can't name right now. So I'm appreciative of all of you. And then obviously one of my mentors, Dr. Marshall, right here, inspires me to do this work.
Brother, greatness is in store, so we gotta,
Yes, sir.
Gotta keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. And guys, men,
Yeah.
go see a therapist for
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like For real.
Says, and you're a guy too, and
Yeah.
you're talking about that's one of our
Like,
one of our issues.
Yeah.
That we don't want to talk about. So.
You know.
Mila, got any words?
My words, I would say be kind to yourself. And if you know something is wrong, try to get some help, some resources, something, try to, you know, reach out to the people who love you. And I feel like, hopefully if there are, whatever resources you can find around mental health, therapy, psychiatrists, and just also having like a village, people that you trust and that love you unconditionally. All of those things are how I'm here talking to y'all right now. I've been very blessed, like I said earlier, having Dr. Marshall, Miss Estelle, Lady Estelle, Miss Norris, and my parents, just all the people I've had, my whole life to help support me and help, prop me up, even with all of my drama. That's what I call it. But yeah, you definitely have to, if you want to be here, you got to work at it. You got to work at it. You got to get help. And just try to do as much as you can. Just really like put yourself first and know that say, because I hear sometimes people say like, oh, I had a therapist, but it didn't really work out. But it's like, well, then you just didn't have the right one, so you just got to keep going with it. And again, I'm just so, commending Joshua for being on to talk about it. Like, it's just so cool, I just feel like, mental illness is so serious. And I feel like, I know my mom had said, because she worked for public health when I was a kid, and she had said, I guess I think it was Reagan took out all the funding or something for mental health, like those hospitals and all that kind of stuff back then. And so she would say with the homeless and stuff in San Francisco, and just a lot of it, there's people that have mental health issues and are not getting the care that they need. So, yeah, I would just try to whatever resources that you can find, just try to get to them, and just really commit to doing all the things, because trying to manage bipolar disorder, you have to have somewhat of a regimen. You just can't be out here all willy-nilly. You have to make sure you're sleeping and exercising if you can, or at least just doing something. There's just things you have to, if you really want to try to do the best that you can. And if people see you work, you'll have more people that want to help you as well. So.
Thank you, hon. Thank you. Thank you both. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. We will see you again. We'll see you again. We're gonna keep it rolling.
For sure.
We're gonna keep folks alive and free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And mentally healthy as we can do it, right?
To the episode, listen to that list that Miss Estelle gave us. There's just so much. Thank you so much to everyone.
Okay, everybody. Good night.
Okay, good night, everyone. You guys get home safely. I love you guys.
Get up at 4:00 in the morning. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Night, y'all.
Blessings.
Blessings.